All right. Hi, everybody. Sorry for a little delay. The recording didn't start automatically like it's supposed to, so I'm trying to debug that a little bit. But we'll go ahead and get started. I've got a backup recording going on here. Welcome to HCDE's UX Speaker Series for winter 2026. Hard to believe it's 2026 already. We are happy to bring with us a set of 10 speakers from across the user experience industry. Number of them have been longtime friends of the HCD department, like today's speaker, Liz Juhnke. Liz is a member of HCD's External Advisory Board. I actually had her as a student way back when. She's an informatics student, but we'll forgive her for that. She was a student in one of my classes way back when. And
I think it's your first class.
I know, it was one of my very first classes. So we go way back in that. But it is my pleasure to introduce Liz Juhnke. She's a principal product designer at the Home Depot, where she has been responsible for ensuring a world-class customer experience in deliveries, order modification and cancellations and returns. Her specialty is leveraging big data to drive business decisions and deciphering customer pain points to design omni-channel software interactions. Previously, Liz was an associate technical fellow of UX at Boeing. And throughout her Boeing career, Liz supported many programs, including commercial manufacturing operations, quality inspections, additive manufacturing, autonomous vehicle, and parts tracking. Liz loves lecturing at HCDE. You might see her in some of your other classes as well, too. She's also one of our lovely mentors in the mentoring program. And so with no further ado, let's welcome Liz with Go Big or Go Home.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, it's good to be back. Okay, great. Julie asked me to come talk to you guys and gave me absolutely no criteria whatsoever on what I should talk about. I hope that means she thinks I'm kind of cool. So I wanted to talk to you today about what a cool job UX is in the industry and how leveraging big data really is a necessary skill for you guys to have if you want to go into UX. So I just want to see a quick show of hands. Who are a master's student? I think it's everybody, right? Everybody? And then who's specifically wanting to get into UX as a career? Okay, cool, about most of you. Sweet, great. This should be relevant then. Just a quick little bit about me. I love visiting national parks. I love camping. I love mountain biking. We go snowshoeing. We are outdoors quite a bit. We really do love the Pacific Northwest. Not so much the city as much the trees surrounding the city. So we're in Eastern Washington quite a bit. Rock climbing, love rock climbing. I got into rock climbing in the pandemic. I've never been rock climbing indoors. We only go outdoors, so that's kind of a fun pandemic fun fact about me. So I want to share a little bit about what it's like to work at Home Depot. Julie and I were joking earlier that it's not a typical like UX tech job you kind of think of coming out of UW, especially here when we have all the big Google, Amazon, Microsoft in our backyard. That's where I was applying. That's where I did my final round interviews. Ended up at Boeing in my early career, but was back at Amazon, Microsoft interviewing, throughout my career. I landed here during the pandemic because they opened up remote roles, and who knew they had 200 designers in their organization? I definitely did not know what I was signing up for when I applied to Home Depot, but it is really cool having so many people to mentor me, because when I got at Boeing, I was one of maybe 20 designers, and even right when I got there, I wasn't even a UX designer. That wasn't quite a thing yet. My title was Systems and Data Analyst, and then I started showing them what user-centered design was and did a usability test, and they're like, wow, this is so cool. So I did get to help kind of stand up the UX operations at Boeing a little bit, and that's kind of how I rocket shipped career model. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but ended up here at Home Depot 4 years ago as a principal. So I wanted to kind of share how fun it is. So this is my desk sometimes in the store here. Get a little shopping cart, and that's just kind of your makeshift desk as I'm doing some research, or I'm doing a contextual inquiry or following some users around. I work at the customer service desk quite a bit in my role, since it's a post-purchase role. So after you order something from Home Depot, if you have any kind of issues with your order, that's like my domain. So naturally, a lot of our customers are going to come into the store and get those issues resolved. So I'm right there kind of learning and listening to the associates as they're handling those problems as well. This is my leadership team at the Linwood store. This is Anne-Marie Campbell. She's Senior Executive Vice President of Stores and Operations. She's a really, really big deal at Home Depot. So it was really cool when I heard she was coming to the Seattle store. I snuck over to the Seattle store to get a selfie with her, kind of elbowed my way up to see her, but she is really cool. We have some really great leaders at Home Depot. They really set an awesome culture, so that's why I love working there. Everyone's just working on really kick-ass stuff, and we definitely have a lot of fun. This is my baby Madison. She is not that little anymore, but you know, working mom. She was homesick that day, and I had to go do some user research, and so she's kind of packed along. But you know, you can have both. You can have both picture. A little bit more about my work and why I have a lot of fun in the stores, even though I am a classically trained software designer. Like, that is what I do. I do design software, create software, but as you guys have already learned, a big, giant part of our job is learning and making sure we understand our customers and our users really well, and the associates. So I have customer and I have associate as kind of my two main user roles. So obviously I need to be hanging out with my order fulfillment associates quite a bit as they are picking orders for our orders that are fulfilled out of the store. Over here, this is Christmas tree day. So I think late November, middle November, all our Christmas trees come, and it's just a fun day because the store smells really good. And so it's just a fun picture to share with you guys that I was in there, and it's a good day for someone like me to be in the store to help out because all the associates are on unloading all the trees, so it's not a great day to be a customer in the store that day because there's not as much help because everyone's unloading all the trees off the trucks. So, but it was fun for me that day. Order fulfillment associates, these are some of my main users. They're, as you guys know, like grocery stores, they pull all the items off the shelf for you that you ordered. And, but you know, they have a lot of problems and pain points too. Our software isn't quite as nice as the Amazon grocery software, right? So, you know, we're trying to get there. What else we got? Oh, this is a customer was picking up their carpet. I bet you didn't know how we loaded carpet to a customer. So that was my day. I learned how they put on a little rolly wheelie, and I watched how they cut the carpet. So a lot of fun there. Skelly, you guys all know Skelly, our Halloween branded product. Anyway, he's fun. He's like our mascot, kind of. And then over here, this was just a reminder to me to say that I also got to help out with some fraud in the cancellation space. So, you know, there are a lot of bad actors out there that might be trying to scam our promotions or find a loophole in our promotions. And so we have some promotions where, you know, like buy one, get one free. And then if they cancel one, sometimes they can get that item still for free. Like, there's some really weird loopholes that they are on the black market, those back websites, you know, telling each other how to get around our software loopholes. So that was a fun day. Actually, I was canceling some customer orders that were fraudulent, and it felt really good to kind of be the cop in that situation. And then the crazy story was, when I cancel the order, I'm going to call the store and let them know, hey, I canceled this order, it's fraudulent, like just return to shelf, just letting you guys know, because sometimes the products will sit on the, in this, we have a stage. This is the staging area, so we kind of have like a big, you guys know, like think of where the stores keep all of these staged orders. Sometimes they could sit on the shelf for a few more days, and they don't realize they've been canceled. I had one store in Bellevue call me right back. Hey, I forgot, what'd you say about this order that you just canceled? The customer's here to pick it up. I was like, oh no, that's a fraudster. I was like, oh, stay cool. My heart's like racing. I'm like, okay, just tell them I'm in the back, and I obviously can't come to the front because I'm all the way in Linwood. And please tell them we don't have any more. They're like, but the customer is saying that they got the email saying it's ready for pickup. I'm like, yeah, tell them we gave it to another customer. So sorry, because that has kind of happened before. And the customer, you could hear the customer like yelling at the associate. I'm like, tell this guy, like, go to the aisle, find his lawnmower, and if there happens to be one, because we told him there was no more, he can purchase that himself. And so the customer goes to the aisle and I go, hey, friendly reminders, the fraudster, like, get him out of our store. And he's like, oh yeah. And so the guy comes back and he's like, oh, I see him walking out of the store now. I'm like, that's right, because he didn't want to pay full price for that lawnmower. So that was some little fun. I get to have not just designing software, but getting into some other fun policing activities. So it's a great day, every day to work at Home Depot. I get to question, yes, please.
I wanted to ask you something about that fraud stuff.
Yeah.
I used to see these TikToks with Home Depot.
Oh, yeah.
People buying stuff for 1 cent.
That's not fraud. That's actually that's a clearance item. Yeah, you have to go into the store. The question is, what about the penny SKUs in our store? Those will be specific to a store. They are likely a penny. You have to go into the store. You have to basically hunt for it because it's in some secret, like, no home location. So you need to figure out where that is. I'm an associate. That is allowed. That's typically if we have some stuff we can't sell or yeah. So it is a real thing, but it's not like you can go online and like order 100 for a penny. It's not. Yeah, it's very isolated, like the store. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, let's do questions as we go. I like questions as we go. We don't need to wait till the end. So we do a lot of kick-ass stuff at Home Depot. I'm very proud to share my biggest accomplishment just launched 2 weeks ago and in September. So I've been researching the out-of-stock issue for a year. It's been my life for an entire year. And if you're getting into big enterprise software, it's going to take you that long to research and launch something. That's just normal. But it's a lot faster than Boeing, so I was happy with the timeline of this. But so anyway, classic situation. You guys probably seen it. Grocery is definitely out ahead on this than we are. But anyway, we're getting there. So when we can't find an item for your order, we're just going to cancel it. And that's really bad, right? And I manage all the customer feedback. I am the real human that reads the real customer feedback. The customers are pissed, and they give me middle finger emojis. I am going to Lowe's. I am never coming back here. You guys are the worst. You ruined my life. It is that serious. And what I found is that we are really set apart from grocery. We do not sell 6 kinds of bagels. Home Depot sells a project that means a lot to our customers. And they've spent weeks and weeks researching this project and this specific type of handle and this specific kind of faucet and this specific finish. And they cannot have bronze with a black towel rack and a bronze tub faucet, right? Like they don't match. So we owe them a lot more respect than a grocery where, oh, we're out of milk, so sorry, you can go get milk somewhere else, have a nice day. So the stakes are a lot higher, I found, in the customer feedback, and I reported as such in many, many, many meetings. So what are we doing about it? This is MVP because it still really sucks, but I'm proud to share it with you because it's the first step in many, many cool iterations of the solution. So what is the cheapest, smallest thing we can do to improve a tiny bit of this experience? So it does cost money, right? You guys, money and time. So rewind, OFA, that's what we call the OFAs, the Order Fulfillment Associates, the pictures you guys saw a minute ago. OFA's looking for stuff, I can't find it, not overhead, not in the back, not under whatever. They're still gonna cancel it today. The value in preserving this is I'm not really messing with the store user at all yet. They can still kind of go on their way. What we're gonna do is we're gonna handle the out of stock after the cancel and then provide the solution to the customer. So the customer has to provide their preference at this point. So we're still gonna say, so sorry, canceled. But you have options now. What do you wanna do about it? Would you like to go get this item at a different store, or would you like to get it delivered instead? These shouldn't be surprising solutions to you. A lot of our competitors do this already, so wanna kind of, before I pause, impact. As any designer above entry level, the most important piece on your case study does need to be the impact that you're providing with your solutions, right, in your portfolio. So it's something I am proud to share with you guys, but also it's not that great yet, and that's why I made sure to say this is MVP. I've saved a measly $2 million in 4 months. That's measly for a retail. It makes billions of dollars, but it's not nothing, right? So that is almost 100K in 20 days. Pocket change, but I can't show you the annualized numbers, but we want to be in the multi-millions of savings, right, for the level that I'm working at. So always the most important, know your numbers, get your numbers. The other interesting thing about these, MVP, not great. The customer effort score is really pretty good. 4.49 for switch to delivery. That is my target. My target's 4.5. But so let's use some critical thinking as UX designers. I'm hitting my target. I know it's not good. My customer feedback is still not good. We gotta make that impact story more robust. So I've already provided feedback to my product leadership that that number no longer tells our story. We need more metrics on that impact statement to say we're not done. Because again, you look at that number, the number is essentially hitting the target. The target should mean we're done and we're successfully solved the problem, right? So that's kind of the story there with that impact statement. Yeah?
Can you talk a little bit more about what your customer effort score is?
That.
Okay. What I mean is, like, what does that really mean?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay, yeah, context. Customer effort score is how easy or difficult was it to use this specific interaction. And it's out of 5. 5 is the best. 1 is the worst that they're allowed to rate.
Okay,
and
so if there's like a manual survey you submit.
That's right.
At the end where they
Yes. Yep. So I put in a pulse survey on all my interactions specifically. We talk a little bit more about that in some of my big data slides. But yeah, that's another one of my big accomplishments. Just putting in the way we can measure this, but also customer therapy. What do I mean by that? Have you guys gone on Amazon and gotten really mad about something and you just want to tell Amazon what's up and you don't know how to do it? Yeah. So I have a lot of surveys on here to be like, how was it? You want to tell us anything? Any other questions? Yeah.
I'm curious why more of the sales go to this switching store than delivery. If it's, do they want to see it in store, or do they want it right away rather than wait for delivery, or do they not want to pay for delivery?
Excuse me. I specifically left out some contextual data here just for proprietary reasons, but the bottom line is Switch Store has just been in the field a little bit longer. Yeah.
I'm just curious about seeing the live chat. A lot of times when users have like, oh, I want this to stop, I would much rather start talking to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe like asking them for help. So is that also something that you have to address, consider as part of your work?
Absolutely. That is, so the question is about using live chat to recover your out of stock instead of completely self-serving through the website. That's absolutely part of the omni-channel experience that I would be responsible for. Yes. Great. I want to deep dive into the communication specifically when we talk about customer emotion. This is the old email that you got. sometime after we couldn't find the item. Sometime after. Key phrase there. Sometime after. Hey, Abhishant, we canceled your items. Unfortunately, they're out of stock, and we had canceled them. We apologize for the inconvenience. We may have some similar items in stock to meet your needs. Go search on the website and take our survey. Thanks for choosing Home Depot. Seems a little off basis, a little bit. Little insensitive. We said sorry, though, but this email triggers if the OFA clicks cancel item because I could not find it. That's the current state, not happy path, what am I trying to say? Expected path. There's another path, right here, I'm going to tell you in a minute. If the OFA wants to kind of cheat the metrics, so their behavior could be influenced by how many items they can and can't find. They are tracked. Their time is tracked. The items, any items they cancel are tracked. So they might say the customer didn't want this anymore. Do you think that's going to go better or worse for the customer? Okay, let's see. Okay, so if I can't find it, I'm going to cancel your item. I'm going to say, customer didn't want it anymore. So you still want it, though. So we're going to say, hey, Mark, we're sorry it didn't work out. You can still go shop online, take our survey. Thanks for choosing Home Depot. You're going to feel like way more mad if you're expecting 5 items and now you're getting 4 items. And then you got this email. Ooh. Probably going to send me some middle finger emojis, aren't you? Yeah.
I just have a quick question. So, as far as like the person who actually makes like the blur,
Yeah.
are you involved in that process at all, or is it like a separate?
Yeah, no, totally. So it's a separate team, but as principal, again, omni-channel, yeah, I'm managing all of it. So I'm going to make sure that the email looks like this instead. So I wrote this with my intern, Gemini. It studied all the customer comments. We came up with some tenets for how we should be talking to the customer. I need this email sent the second it's canceled, not an hour after we couldn't find it. I need Home Depot to specifically be taking accountability for our inventory errors. This is our inventory errors. We said we had 15. Why can't we find 15 of one item? This is a gigantic store. I want us to be more empathetic, more respectful of our customers' time. Again, remember, these customers are spending weeks researching these products. We take their business very seriously. And the exciting part that we could not do earlier, but now we can because we have the funding, we have the time, we have all my designs, you can do something about it. So now it reads, hey, we screwed up. We really apologize. This specific item was canceled at this store. I wrote that in because some of the customers were still not understanding if they ordered it for pickup and it was canceled, well, why can't they get it for delivery? It's not canceled like globally at Home Depot, and they weren't really differentiating like if it's canceled, well, you could have sent it to me from anywhere else. But I'm trying to say you ordered it for pickup and you cannot get it at this store. So I tried to make that specific line really clear. And I got some options for you. Here they are. Go to your account. There you go. Have a nice day. And they would not let me change, take a survey. I hate that button. I wanted it to say share your feedback. They said I could not change that button because every single other email says take survey. I'm still mad about it. I'm still going to fight them about it. But anyway, it says take survey because the email team said. Yeah.
I have a quick, so is everything at Home Depot deliverable, or are there some things that you have to pick up at Home Depot just due to size?
I don't know the answer, but I assume there's something, well, there's definitely things you can only get delivered. Yeah, we don't carry every single SKU in the store. Is that your question? Is there anything in the store that you can only get online? Is that only get in store? Well, the penny SKUs. Maybe that's it. And when something is so low stock that there should be a threshold, like there's maybe 1 or 2 left. In that scenario, we would lock you out from ordering online. You would have to come in. So like I raced down to Bitter Lake one day because I wanted some really big storage bins. They wouldn't let me buy them online. I had to I had to beat anyone else who wanted those storage bins. Yeah, other question, yeah.
So I know you talked about the dynamic between the email team, and so if we were in your role, is there certain strategies that you would utilize to kind of more prove your point? Would you do another round of research? I just didn't know if there was with budget constrictions and things like that, kind of what you would do next to try to push your point on that.
In terms of the button specifically, this is good enough for me because I manage the customer's emotions to the best I believe. I will probably just pester them at this point. It would just be more casually for the button specifically. Did you want a more global answer than that?
I think it's just interesting to hear the dynamic of you heading it, and then it's if there's a conflict, how you would approach it. But for time's sake too, you want to move on with time.
We can maybe chat about that in the next slide, actually. Good segue. Question?
Yeah, so let's say if as a customer I'm receiving a message that my order cannot be fulfilled to the department, I would be best that it cannot be fulfilled, and I might take it out on the survey if I
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate if this survey is really answering to the experience versus it's just somebody being frustrated and just saying one because they are.
The question was about how I understand the customer, what kind of customers are taking the survey, whether they're just angry or
They're actually
reviewing the experience. It's a great question. So how do I differentiate the customer actually reviewing the experience of the UI versus all of it? And this has been completely transformational to how I understand the customer feedback. So I appreciate the question. The question is written at the end. Yeah, here. How easy or difficult was it for you to cancel your order? However, this is obviously the out of stock. They're going to be routed around that question. They don't get that specific question. But I think in general, you're asking about cancellations. The question is intended to review the UI, but what I found is they are all giving feedback on the entire experience. All of them are. And I think we'll actually, I'm going to demo that off camera at the end if you guys want to stick around. But essentially, that has been so transformational to understand that they are canceling, but they are telling me about the delivery issues. And that's not my domain. But yes, I'm getting all of that. And so I luckily have a great towering strength in networking. And so at my company, I can a little easier go, hey, delivery team, look at this. Hey, payments team, here's feedback for you guys. But that is such a great question that I was hoping to get some feedback on, how'd the UI work out for you? And it's really exploded into their full end-to-end experience with Home Depot. And kind of back to how do you give feedback to Amazon? Well, this has just been one easy way in to just really unload. And so we're getting lots of rich data here that no other teams are. Other questions? Yes.
So you said you worked with your intern, Gemini. How much rewriting did you do after having, and also looking at the actual customer responses? Because I'm sure you didn't just take its input
Oh,
and be
yes.
like, okay, that's
Yeah, oh,
brilliant.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
How much rewriting did you do, and how much did you trust the initial output it gave you?
Oh, yes, a lot, all of it. Yes, Gemini is so awesome, or whatever tool you're using. Gen AI is so amazing to get you to an elevated level. We're not starting from scratch anymore. Like, there is no blank sheet of paper. What should we say to the customer? Like, Gemini is like, here's first draft, go talk it out. So we'll just jump into this one. So I'm cancellation and modification experience. That little loop-de-loop represents me as a role. It's a UX principal role. And so I'm working across all these different teams. And so we are still collaborating and doing crit, getting the feedback on even something that little to make sure it is so perfect. And then it does get down to the email team, or they're not the email team, they're the customer communications team. And then I have a dedicated, do I have like a laser pointer? So how do I explain this? Okay, I am a this was a very hard chart to like design for you guys because I'm trying to explain like UX operations and how it's related to me. Okay, starting over. I'm a horizontal because the customer experience of cancellations is end to end, right? It starts at customer thinking about an item, I purchase it, I give you money, the order gets created, it gets fulfilled, it gets delivered or picked up, and then you might have problems. And I'm the you might have problems piece. Delivery, returns piece. So those are gonna span, obviously, all these different software teams. They are the verticals, because they are experts in their specific column. Stores is expert in store. Customer comms is not on here, but they're experts in the literal words. I got a checkout team that I'm working with a lot. I have my account team, because that's when you have an issue with your order. You're gonna go into my account, then you're gonna do stuff. So I have my account team. Each of these UCD cycles represents one designer, at minimum one designer. So you can see I'm at least working with 4 in any given project, if not more. And so there is a lot of, I would call horizontal collaboration. That would be things I'm leading. And then, so you can see up at the top in the navy, my large responsibilities are gonna be the market research and benchmarking. So like, what's Amazon doing, what's Lowe's doing, Walmart, Costco, Target, all those. I'm gonna be researching how do they handle substitutes, how do they handle out of stock, right? And I'm gonna present that to my larger team. I'm doing deep customer feedback analysis. I get tens of thousands of customer comments every week. So need some big Gen AI to help with that. Prototyping. I'm doing I'm getting it to like wireframey, lo-fi concepts. I'm still getting a lot of user research done, concept testing done. And then I'm gonna start handing it off to like the sprinkling onto the balance teams. And then each of those, that's why I have their own UCD cycle. Then all the designers that I hand off to, then they do their own full UCD. Like, hey, you gave me the big problems, you validated the big problems, but now I'm gonna validate the teeny tiny interaction level elements. And they're gonna really refine it, polish it, perfect it, and then we're gonna go to launch. So I don't personally launch anything on my team. So let's go through any of these balance teams, kinda wherever it's going. I hope that answered some questions a little bit. Other questions, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep. Those are in work right now. Mm-hmm. He's asking if there's any preventative measures to prevent out of stock, and that's again why I wrote this is MVP, because it's the first thing we wanted to do in hundreds of ideas. Very good. Other questions?
So is the principles that you were talking about, the 4 ones that were based on like empathy and this and that, is that something that's also mirrored in the in-store experience? Like, do the associates know that is a path to take or things to focus on? And similarly, those review your options, are associates like known to like help people go through that? Because I can imagine like older folks that feel nervous about review your options. Just probably get a little bit flustered.
Yeah, the question was, do the store associates know about our new features that are launching for customers? Yes, we do send out communications to them. They don't all read them. So that's kind of another one of the fun parts about my job, getting to go into the stores and just build relationships with the store associates. I get to tell them about all the fun things we're working on and are coming, in case they don't open up those communications that are on a computer that they're not always going to. So yes and no. And then the process is really inconsistent. Some do really, really care, and they will call up every customer, hey, so sorry, there has been an issue. But some just straight up cancel and move on. They're a little more focused on the time and the speed. It was very inconsistent, I found, when I did the research. So I think it's still going to be kind of a mixed bag right now until we make it a little more robust. But yeah, really looking forward to what's next.
Are there teams that you work with that do UX research, or are you the one who does that?
Great question. Is there dedicated UX research teams? We are full stack in enterprise UX. Online does have a kind of a slightly set apart team. They do have a few dedicated research. I guess we do have a few dedicated researchers. They're more in research ops though. At principal level, you own everything. We have a very few UX research specifically. But yeah, principal level, all of it. Okay, am I doing good on time? Okay. I put this up just in case anyone had questions about my specific structure at Home Depot. This is our, what do you call it, career trajectory. Any questions? Yeah.
So you said you joined because it was a remote offer.
Yeah.
Did they stop being remote at some point? I know you go to the store. But in terms of like your main UX support, can you still work remote?
Yeah, so the question is, I got hired as remote. Do I still get to be remote? Yes, I do, luckily. Everyone in Atlanta, so it's an Atlanta-based company, so most of the employees are around Atlanta area. They were pulled back to full in-person in June, I want to say, yeah, June. Definitely, they weren't super thrilled about it, but I was one of the lucky few that I'm way over here. They're not going to make me go move to Atlanta, so I'm lucky right now. Going to hold on to this job forever, and yeah. So I built a she shed out in the backyard for my office now, so I definitely don't want to be going anywhere, but yeah. So at Home Depot, I came in straight at principal, so I kind of got to skip over. I will say staff UX to me is the hardest role in the company. You are trying to prove you are worthy of principal role. That's manager, like pay grade. But you are leading all these people, you are mentoring all the juniors, and you're trying to prove you can do principal level work at the same time. That is absolutely the hardest role, at least at Home Depot. In my opinion, I feel like I've kind of made it. Like I'm a leader, cool. Like if you want any help, come to me. I'm here for anybody. Just loving life. Kicking ass, doing really big stuff. So yeah, question.
Is Home Depot still hiring at the UX one level? Is entry-level positions? Because you kind of hear that there's the bottom of the career.
Not right now. Not right now. I think the way you're going to get in, first of all, you're going to need to be in Atlanta, and then we have an intern program. And so typically, you're going to get pulled up through internship. It just was not how it was when I was in college. I did not have a UX internship. It's such a bloodbath now in our industry. I feel like I'm really sorry, guys. Other questions? Okay. Sneak peek into job evaluations. I thought this would be really fun to share with you guys. This is my real, actual evaluation of a real human designer. This is what I literally sent to her. I thought we'd just kind of talk about it and learn what it takes to be a good designer. And hopefully you guys can glean some of, who is this? Justin's name has been redacted for privacy purposes. Some of Justin's pitfalls. So I thought it'd be fun. Okay, Justin Justin's our UX2. We had a big year. We were kind of operating as normal, and then our senior product director said, all of this is not modern enough. This all needs to be modern now. And so we're like, oh, damn. Okay, so design thinking workshop tomorrow, everybody? Everyone's cool with that, right? Like, there was no, hey, managers, we're pulling all your designers. Remember, I'm not a manager. I have no direct reports. I'm influence-only role. So we're all just like, steal. And they had to drop everything they were doing, and we stole them for many, many days. And so this UX2, he wasn't super thrilled. So he had a lot of stakeholders. He was balancing the demands, challenging product managers. So we wanted to recognize that it was kind of a tough year, and he was kind of overwhelmed, but he showed some good initiative and strong desire to contribute. So what we liked about Justin, clear customer-centric focus. If you do not have this, like, you're in the wrong field, go away. Like, you gotta be so obsessed with your customer. And you've seen those job postings, right? Like, oh, we're so customer obsessed. Like, we're so obsessed with the customer. Like, yeah, cool. That's just table stakes, right, guys? Like, you just gotta be so curious about human behavior. If you're not, definitely wrong field. But so, always gotta be number one. He cares about our customers, and his work was commendable in the customer listening sessions he helped kick off. So user-first mindset, solid there. Good job, Justin. Number two, cross-functional collaboration. He was proactively engaged with his peers. I want to see some initiative from the juniors. You are collaborating across those columns again. So he was in online, right? I want to see him talking to the email team without me saying, hey guys, you talk together and make sure your stuff is good. Because some of the stuff was not cohesive, and I needed to come in and say, why is that green? Why is that red? It's the same word. Figure it out. Number three, idea generation. Justin brought fresh ideas. Very good. That is something I expect from a junior designer. You guys have the most modern tools as you're coming fresh out of college. I did not learn Figma in college, right? Because I'm old. You guys should have the fresh, hottest tools ready to kind of share with us. And so Justin also had that. Areas for development. Sorry, a little small. Some of his designs weren't that great. Some of his UI was a little cluttered. I meant to do this one bullet at a time. My apologies. So room to grow in visual polish. With that said, when principals gave him feedback that his UI was cluttered, or we didn't like, why are you using a toggle instead of like a checkbox? He was overly passionate about his ideas. This is typical of a junior designer being so married to your designs. You worked really, really hard on them. We totally get you worked really hard on them. But if you are getting too sassy with the feedback, that's gonna show in my feedback that got sent straight to your manager, that you were getting a little sassy and combative when we were doing design crit. So I want to see more collaborative tone from Justin. He needs to trust that me and other CX leaders are only trying to make the best UI for everybody, and we are managing a lot of different people and contributors. That kind of feeds into receptiveness to feedback. And that buzzword there is, of course, going to be growth mindset. Are you looking to continually improve as a designer? That's one of those, probably my number two, like, it's just got to be there. You just got to be always trying to kick ass and elevate your craft. Team alignment and ownership. I think this kind of goes back to visual polish, his work needing to be reworked. We were literally reworking it. And then I think we just mentioned he could benefit from some more mentoring. Questions? That was a lot, huh? I hope you guys just sleep on it. Hopefully I'm not like this. You're gonna get feedback like this in your career. You're gonna get feedback like this in your career. You just want to take it as an adult, positive, right? Yeah.
So I wanted to, sorry. Okay. So when it comes to feedback, is there any benefits to if they were was maybe they felt maybe they had a design and maybe they felt their intention wasn't good, their intention wasn't best communicated? Would you say in the scope of feedback, if maybe they weren't trying to be combative, but maybe they wanted to maybe explain their design as a form of conversation, would you say that's beneficial, or maybe that's not the time to do it during feedback? What would you say regarding kind of that mindset?
The question is around what's the line between being combative and explaining your design decision. I think it's always great, designers should always defend your design in terms of what was your thought process. That's typically how I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna be what the hell were you thinking? This is terrible. I'm gonna go, please tell me what your design process was to get here. That's typically how I'm gonna open it up and you're gonna get allowed to explain it a little bit to us, and then we're gonna be I would have done it, maybe this way. But yeah, I think it's really situational. I think you just wanna find that line between, am I being an asshole? Yeah. Oh, cool lights. All right, well, that was it. Thanks for coming. You had a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, for example, does Justin get to see this?
No, Justin's not going to see this exact wording unless I specifically emailed it to him. Sometimes I will, out of charity, or if it was generally a glowing review. If I had a better relationship with Justin, I might also chat with him about some of these items. I didn't have as good a relationship with him. This is all going to go to his manager. She's going to curate all of it, and then she's going to kind of summarize and share. That's typically our process. But again, this is why you want to have good mentors and a lot of mentors, because you do want someone who's going to tell you some of these things. You don't want to be going around getting a reputation for being combative or something, right? You need someone to really give you these secrets. I've had some really hard feedback in my life, and I've eventually